Hey, Lee Cole here, and I just got access to Mike Paul's new product, Local Freelance Funding Formula. Um, Mike is brilliant. He runs a great business. He's got a lot of out-of-the-box stuff. He does a lot of stuff that nobody else does, and thank the Lord he is very happy to teach the rest of us how to do the same thing. Local Freelance Funding Formula is probably, well, without doubt, his most brilliant product to date. Here's the deal. Businesses need a lot of things, right? So they need leads, they need sales, but one thing they need, and we don't talk about this in the offline marketing space at all really, but one big thing that medium to small businesses need a lot of is short-term money. They need cash. Well, heck, it's one day after taxes were due in the United States, and businesses, whether you know this or not, in the United States are hammered at tax time. Business owners pay way more money than employees for taxes. So it is not unusual for a small business to have to get a short-term loan to cover their tax obligation. It just happens. Other things that businesses need money for. Well, they need money for opening a new store. They need money because they need to hire several new employees and train them. They need money because they're coming out with a new product line there's just a zillion reasons why businesses need short-term money. But here's the deal. Going to your normal stuffed shirt business bank to get short-term money is really difficult. Not a lot of banks will lend that kind of money. It's seen as high risk, for instance. But there are banks that do lend this kind of money, and there are places that lend this kind of money, and it's totally legit. We're not talking about, going to your local mobster and getting money from a loan shark. That's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about a different world of funding for short-term loans. So when you're the offline marketer, you are hopefully talking to a lot of business owners, and if you're not, you should be. Just hit me up in support and say, Lee, I'm not talking to a lot of business owners. What will I do? I'll point you to some great courses of my own that will get you straightened out. But hopefully you're out there talking to a lot of business owners. And every time I go to a network meeting, every time I sit down with somebody at Starbucks and just start talking about stuff, so many times, such a large percentage of the time, people start talking about their money woes. And it's not that they're making enough money, they just have a cash flow problem, right? And wouldn't it be cool if every time somebody talks about that, or every time you sold somebody something, you brought this up on the tail end of the thing like an upsell? Wouldn't it be cool if you could say, hey, by the way, I can hook you up with somebody that can do short-term loans. Is this something you would be interested in? You would be amazed at the number of people who would take you up on that. They would say, oh, hell yes, please. I talked to my local stuffed shirt banker, and she basically told me to go take a hike, right? So you would be amazed at the number of business owners you could hook up with this. But anyway, that's what Local Freelance Funding Formula is all about. It is about you referring business owners to legitimate funding sources. And Mike tells you all about how to do this in this course. You get a PDF training guide. You get videos that walk you through the whole thing. Mike tells you how to set up your business, everything that you need to do. And here's the amazing thing. And I didn't know this. I didn't know this until I cracked open the PDF here and started reading it. You can see the PDF is right here. It's pretty long. It's about a 55-page PDF. You can get paid very, very well, very large referral fees just for giving a business owner's name to a funding source. And if they end up doing a short-term loan for one of these business owners, you will get paid an amazing amount of money just for that little service. Okay? I mean, why? Because the short-term loan is high interest. They're making a lot of money out of that. Just like any other business, they need leads, and if you're providing them leads, they're more than happy to pay you. And they're in the money business. They're more than happy to send an amazing amount of that money your way. This is freaking brilliant. You don't really have to sell any. Matter of fact, you don't have to sell anything. All you got to do is just Work it into a conversation somewhere, and Mike tells you exactly how to do this, how to set it up, what to say, everything. Work it into a conversation. Hey, by the way, I've got a short-term lending source. You interested in some short-term money sometime? All you got, yeah, half the time people are just going to like say, yeah, sure. Let me give you my name and number, and you just, would you mind if I get them to call? Oh, yeah, sure. And you just pass it on to them. You'd be amazed at the number of times that happens. So, a fabulous way. You can make an entire living just doing this, okay? I mean, it's so exciting. I'm considering working this into the way I do my own business. But you can make an entire living just doing this. Or just think, if every time you sold something to somebody, or every time you sat down and talked to a business owner, you just added this into the conversation, you would make a whole nother side income just doing this, along with building your regular offline business. So Mike's product, Local Freelance Funding Formula, launches tomorrow on the 19th. I believe it's at 11 o'clock. If you're looking at this video on YouTube, there's a link in the description right below, or an annotation or a card or something on the video. Just click that, and then you'll see all my bonuses that you get for buying this through my link. If you're just seeing this on my website, ditto, there's a button to click, etc., etc. Click that, read all about it. But I'm going to tell you something. I very rarely tell people what they should do, because I really feel like my business is to give you information. Your business is to just decide whether you need that or not. But I'm telling you something. If you don't buy this, you're crazy. Okay? If you don't buy this training, you're absolutely crazy. This is the coolest, no-brainer, high-dollar, high-ticket, out-of-the-box thing I have seen in a very long time. Thank you so much for looking at this video. My name's Lee Cole. Talk to you soon.